So it has come to pass. Donald Trump and 18 others have officially been charged here in the state of Georgia. Donald John Trump, Rudolph William Louis Giuliani, John Charles Eastman, Mark Randall Meadows, Kenneth John Cheeseborough, Jeffrey Bossert Clark, Jenna Lynn Ellis, Ray Stallings Smith III, Robert David Cheeley, Michael A. Roman, Sean Micah Tresher Still, Stephen Cliffgard Lee, Harrison William Prescott Floyd, Travion C. Cuddy, Sydney Catherine Powell, Kathleen Alston Latham, Scott Graham Hall, Misty Hampton, aka Emily Misty Hayes. Some of those names have to be familiar to you because we've been talking about all of their criminal activities over here on this page. Specifically, Kathy Latham and Misty Hampton. I just talked about them and their involvement on yesterday. Their involvement is in regards to the breach at Coffee County's elections office. The charges are violation of the Georgia RICO Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, solicitation of violation of oath by a public officer, false statements and writings, solicitation of violation of oath by a public officer, solicitation of violation of oath by a public officer, false statements and writings impersonating a public officer, conspiracy to commit impersonating a public officer, forgery in the first degree, conspiracy to commit forgery in the first degree, false statements and writings, conspiracy to commit false statements and writings, criminal attempt to commit filing false documents, conspiracy to commit filing false documents, forgery in the first degree, conspiracy to commit forgery in the first degree, false statements and writings, conspiracy to commit false statements and writings, criminal attempt to commit influencing witnesses, criminal attempt to commit influencing witnesses, criminal attempt to commit false statements and writings, solicitation of violation of oath by public officer, false statements and writings, false statements and writings, false statements and writings, filing false documents, solicitation of violation of oath by public officer, false statements and writings, conspiracy to commit solicitation of false statements and writings, influencing witnesses, conspiracy to commit election fraud, conspiracy to commit election fraud, conspiracy to commit computer theft, conspiracy to commit computer trespass, conspiracy to commit computer invasion of privacy, conspiracy to defraud the state, solicitation of violation of oath by a public officer, false statements and writings, and perjury. In total, there are 41 different charges. I will not be reading the entire indictment. I will, however, put a link to the indictment into my link tree. You can pull it up and read it for yourself. And to all of you MAGA supporters, Donald Trump supporters, racists that are screaming that Brian Kemp needs to step forward and pardon Donald Trump of all of these charges, it does not work like that here in the state of Georgia.
Here now to explain, as someone who knows the Georgia legal system very well, former DeKalb County District Attorney Gwen Keyes Fleming, and perhaps you could help some of the folks I was addressing why Georgia might be a little different, why a pardon, even in Georgia, doesn't come easily and it takes a lot of time. Could we start there?
Sure. So Georgia is one of the rare states where the sitting governor does not have the ability to automatically pardon someone that's been convicted of a crime. That ability lies with the Board of Pardons and Parole, and while the members are appointed by the governor, they cannot consider a pardon, or someone cannot apply for a pardon until after their entire sentence has been served, plus they have to be a law-abiding citizen for an extra 5 years. So if you have a sentence with a mandatory minimum of 5 years, that sentence must be completed, and then you need to still wait another 5 years for a total of 10 years before that person, that convicted defendant, can apply for a pardon. And then obviously it's up to the discretion of the board members as to whether it be granted. So it's a very long process, not one that is automatic, and certainly not one that lies in the hand of one person that can be executed quickly.
And that's that on that. And once this sinks in to the MAGA Trump supporters, into their brains, that Brian Kemp can't just pardon Donald Trump, that whatever sentence he is given, should he be found guilty of these charges, if he has to serve 5 years, he will have to serve all 5 years and then live life squeaky clean for another 5 years before he's even considered for pardon. Once that sinks in, once that becomes resolute in their brain, they will then work, in my opinion, to try to discredit Fani Willis and have her removed from the case. Fani Willis did a press conference. It was about midnight last night, so I was half paying attention. But I did hear that Fani Willis does plan to bring this case to trial within the next 6 months. She also said in her press conference that she intends to try all 19 criminal defendants together. I don't know how that's going to work. I can see that being a complete circus. These people are obstructionists. That is what they do. So I can see a whole lot of buffoonery going on through this trial. They do not respect the rule of law. So yeah, it will be a complete circus if she were to try all 19 of these individuals together. And can you imagine the delay tactics? Fanny girl, rethink that. But as I watched the news last night, and as I, perused through this indictment, and as I watched Donald Trump continue to lose his ish over there on Truth Social, I am thinking about two individuals. I think about Lady Ruby and Shay, and how they were terrorized, how they lost everything because they had to eventually leave their homes, this state, in order to feel some sort of safety. Entitled, racist, hateful individuals ruined these ladies' lives just for doing their jobs. And I hope that all 19 criminal defendants are found guilty and have to serve long sentences. Y'all have a fantastic day.